Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to thank you all for attending today's conference. May I please ask that you pull out the conference agenda that I emailed all of you. As you know, my name is KG and I will be the one facilitating this conference. With me today we have Constable Angel, who investigated the offence, which has brought us here today. Mr. Jordan Green, who is the offender, Madam May Wilton, who is the offender's aunt, and Miss Corinne Whitesell, who is the victim and whose mother's tombstone was the one which got damaged. As you know, this discussion is sensitive and should be discussed in a manner which is pragmatic and tactful. That being said, to start us off, we will be focusing on the incident itself, which accounted for 5 tombstones being broken. The main purpose for this conference is to account for the harm that has been done, with the hopes that Mr. Green here is willing to provide us with insight on what he did and why he did what he did. That being said, Mr. Green, tell us about the incident and what you were thinking.
I was just hanging out at the cemetery a couple nights ago with a couple of my buddies, and one guy, he said, "Hey man, I dare you to go smash a grave." So I was like, sure, whatever. It's just a stupid stone, right? So we all got a shovel, and I just started hitting random graves, and I hit this one, I guess that's hers, but I hit it until it was basically no more.
What did you tell the police why you did that?
I mean, I'll tell you what I told the police. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I just thought it was a stupid old stone. Like, what's the problem?
And how have you felt since you damaged the stone?
Like I said, I don't think what I did was really that bad. It's just a stupid old stone, right? So what's the problem?
Who has been affected by your actions?
Well, I don't know them, so why does that affect me?
Let us have the victim speak for herself then. Miss Corinne Whitesell, how has Mr. Green's actions affected you?
Well, I do find it very hurtful that someone would deface my mother's grave. After all the heartbreak I already took in from her death, I paid a great amount of money for her gravestone and wanted everyone to remember her as the great woman that she was by looking at her grave. But now, I can't, and no one can, because this kid decided to break her stone for all fun and games. Has he ever lost a parent and wanted nothing but to remember them peacefully when they look at their gravestone on birthdays, holidays? No, I didn't think so. Now I want him to pay for his childish actions.
Thank you for that. I'm sure Constable Angel can attest to this, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I was very disappointed in Jordan. Our staff has a lot going on in our detachment. A lot of calls lately from young offenders damaging our community. A lot of files are starting to pile up on our desks, and this is just another one. We want to get young offenders obviously away from these actions and their causes, so we want to lead them to the right path to succeed in life.
Now, Mr. Green, are you able to hold yourself accountable for these actions?
I didn't know it was like that big of a deal, guys. I'm sorry, Miss Woodsell.
It's actually Miss Whitesell.
Right.
I'm sorry.
As a way for this conference to remain fair and impartial, I advise all members in this group to run their statement through me. It is vital that we remain objective and less subjective for such a conference to be progressive. Mr. Green?
I guess that I don't know, I guess I'm misbehaving because ever since my parents left, I feel like I have no one to turn to. I have my aunt, but she's not there for me as much as I need her to be.
I provided you with a home, a bed to sleep in, and dinner on the table every night. I work double shifts in order to provide for you. I consider you on my own, yet you discredit that.
It just hasn't really felt like home since my parents left, you know? But I also didn't really ask you to take care of me.
Okay, let's get back on track here. Remember that we all need to remain objective in this conference. For should we steer in any direction, it will ruin its main mandate. Constable Angel, would you deem that Mr. Green be held accountable for his actions? What is your verdict?
Yeah, I believe Mr. Green should be held accountable. I don't believe imprisonment is necessary, obviously, but for youth at his age, I believe that extrajudicial measures are necessary.
How so?
As a first-time offender, there are programs put in place to deal with young offenders such as Mr. Green to rehabilitate and reincorporate them into society. Mr. Green can perform acts such as community service to make up for the damage that he has done to the community.
And how many hours do you believe he should do to pay back his debt?
I believe roughly around 150 community service hours would be a fair judgment to give Mr. Green.
And Ms. Whitesell, do you believe this verdict is sufficient for Mr. Green?
Yes, I do agree. I do believe this is sufficient. I'd also think that it is fair that he pays for the damage of the stone as he defaced it.
Right. Mr. Green, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, like, absolutely, yeah, that's fine with me. Like, I can do the hours and pay. Like, I truly feel so bad for this Miss Whitesell.
I believe that is a fair punishment, and I will make sure he completes all of his hours and pays for the gravestone.
Can we go now?
Once again, thank you all for attending this conference. Conference adjourned.
My one buddy, he dared me to, like, he said, go smash a grave. So I was like, yeah, whatever. So we got a shovel and I just started hitting a grave. I didn't really think much about it.
What did you tell the police? Why you did that?
Tell the police exactly what I told you.
No, that's not what you had to say. I'll tell
Hanging around the cemetery with a couple of my friends and one guy just dared me.
Okay, stop.
Jesus Christ!
I had no idea it was that bad. Like, I'm sorry, Miss Whitesell.
Miss White.
With them. Good night. Good night.
I'm sorry, Miss Whitesell.
It's Miss White.
Only laugh.
Hey guys, we cannot.
I was
do this
fine.
again.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry, one more time. Okay, I actually.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Jordan was like, pause!
Like.
Like,